Oh, hey, you want to quit social media and you don't know what to do? Maybe you should listen to a recovery addict who broke addictions to cocaine, smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, party drugs, almost everything you can imagine. What I have is that I get addicted to things really easily, okay? Be it phone, be it my computer, or whatever it is. So I have a problem that if I start using something, I get pleasure from it, I overdo everything, okay? I overdo drinking, I overdo smoking, I overdo drugs and everything. But thankfully, I learned about addiction, how addiction works in general, why am I like this? And I learned how to deal with this problem, because this is an actually big problem. It brought me to a very bad place in my life. Now, back to the social media and how we can quit it. Facebook addiction or Instagram addiction or any other social media addiction, this video is for you. Now, in this video, I'm not going to argue whether it's good to have a social media addiction or not. If you consider your usage of social media as an addiction, then it's a negative thing, and that's why you're here watching this video, to break your addiction. Now, a lot of people will disagree with me and say that no, social media is good. I know social media has a lot of advantages, but for people like me and for people like you, it can be very dangerous. That's why you're watching this video. Maybe your friends are different, and maybe your friends will tell you you're crazy to even try to break addiction to social media. But trust me, it can be very dangerous to people like us. We are addict type of people. As I always mention in my videos, it's different for your friends. So watch this video if you want to break social media addiction. So step number one, what you have to consider when you want to quit your addiction is that realizing that it's an actual thing. You're really addicted to phone, and it's not just that, oh, I don't know, it's a habit, I don't know, what am I doing? No, the thing is that when you use your phone, I'm talking phone, but it could be a computer or anything else, laptop, iPad, whatever. The thing is, when you use them, it produces dopamine in your brain, okay? It's a brain chemical. You don't have to go in details to know everything about it, but it's a brain chemical that gives you this good feeling, right? The pleasure feeling. And that is how Facebook actually optimized their software. Their algorithm is written in a way that you always get this hit of dopamine in your brain when you use it. It's the same if you go to casino and you're playing, you're gambling. Most of the drugs are directly affecting your dopamine, okay? And that's how you get hooked on it. Now, for some people, this will not be a big problem. It's so important to admit that you're addicted dopamine release, okay? And be aware of this, that every time you're using Facebook and you're just scrolling down with no reason. Now, it's also another thing that if you're messaging to somebody and then it's useful message, then it's okay, right? But then somehow we lose our control and we find ourselves scrolling on the feed for hours and hours, right? It's always step number one to admit that you're an addict. Step number two, I want you to delete all the applications that you don't need, because it's triggering your addiction, right? Every time you see an application on your screen, it triggers you to release this dopamine. So what you do is that unnecessary applications that you really don't use. I mean, Facebook application. Do you really need the Facebook? I'm not talking about Messenger, because you might have an excuse that you want to message people. But what about Facebook, scrolling on the feed? Do you really have to follow all your friend news and updates, what they're posting? I am guessing that it's not the case. And if you're an addict, it's dangerous for your life to follow all those people. Therefore, I would advise you to remove the applications that you're not using. I mean, the ones that you don't need to use, but you want to use. Get rid of all the fun applications because they are the source of your dopamine release. Instead, what I recommend always is to start deep breathing and meditation. Okay, maybe this is a little bit step forward for you if you're just trying to break a simple Facebook addiction, but it's always good idea to try deep breathing and meditation, because what it's going to do to your brain is that start producing dopamine naturally, okay, and by yourself, anytime, anywhere you are, for free. So you don't need internet, you don't need some fancy applications to help you to release your dopamine. And this is the healthy way to manage your dopamine levels naturally, right? So get rid of the applications and you will have less triggers. And the step number 3 is that keep yourself accountable to your breaking cycle. Okay, what I mean with this is that start writing down and start tracking. I don't recommend an application for this because it can get you addicted as well. What I mean is that start tracking and writing down in a journal or in some paper how many days it passed that you deleted the applications and you're not using it without any purpose, right? So the point here is that I'm not telling you to not use applications at all, but I'm telling you to use it with purpose, only when you need it. And this self-awareness and telling yourself all the time that, okay, do I really need to use it now? This only will help you to stay into the present moment all the time. And that's going to help you to have a healthier brain function in general. By refusing using Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and whatever, you are training your brain in a healthy manner, right? So do these 3 simple steps and I guarantee you that you will break addiction to your social media. This is Break Free Addiction YouTube channel. If you like this video and you like the tips, make sure to click on the like button and also subscribe for this YouTube channel. Now the important part here is that you click on that bell button. I will put it somewhere in the screen. There's a bell button, and if you click on that, every time I update and post a new video, you will get notified.